Lots of people making big, big bucks. You and me, babe, I see we're out of love. Well, I heard a voice from a high above. It don't cost a thing just to be in love. We don't have anything but love.
Hi, I'm Gordine McKenzie.
And I'm Nancy Nangeroni.
And this is GenderVision. We have an exciting program for you about when my partner is transgender and partner advocacy.
That's right. We're going to have Helen Boyd and Betty Crow. And this is an interview that we shot. When was it that we did this?
We did this in November 2007 in the Media Center at Merrimack College. And big thanks to Kevin Salimi for helping us out there.
That's right. And Helen and Betty are best known, or I guess Helen is the author, right? And people get
Helen
these
Boyd.
confused, just like I'm
well,
getting confused
a lot of
now.
people attribute the book actually to Betty, and a lot of people mix up the person on the front of the book, which is actually Helen Boyd. I'm sorry, it's Betty Crow. And the book is called My Husband, Betty, and it's my life with a cross-dresser.
All right. And then Helen subsequently wrote another book?
Now, after she talked about being with a cross-dresser in the cross-dressing community, she wrote a book called She's Not the Man I Married. And this book really looks at Helen's life and the challenges that Helen faces, and also talks about partnerships and how to negotiate things and have an egalitarian and equal partnership.
So we'll be getting right to that. I want to welcome our new viewers in San Luis Obispo, and we're pleased to have you watching GenderVision. And I was wondering, we've seen Raving Raven a couple of times, but Raven hasn't managed to
Raven was on strike last time that I saw Raving Raven, because Raving Raven was saying this was a case of speciesism. I was out at the bird feeder and I saw Raving Raven, and Raving Raven is going to be with us.
So on this show.
Raving Raven's in the studio.
Can we do that now?
We can.
All right. Raving Raven, folks.
I'm the bird with the word. Together again.
Oh, hi, Raven. It's
Hi, Nancy. How are you doing?
Good. It's nice to see you again.
Well,
Where you been?
I've been on strike. I've been watching reruns.
Yeah.
And I got some stuff to tell you.
Okay.
And I also was ready for my close-up a few shows ago.
I know. I'm sorry.
Got the wrong address, I guess.
Uh-huh. So what do you got for us?
First, I want to tell you about speciesism. Why do you think I was striking last time?
So what is speciesism?
Speciesism is some animals being treated less than other animals, and human animals just being treated the very best. Sometimes with speciesism, they don't think that animals like myself and other animals suffer.
So you mean humans...
Dominate.
Yeah.
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 Ah!
Where's that? And all animals have feelings, don't they?
You bet. And we all feel pain, Nancy. Did you hear the story about the lobsters that
No.
escaped?
No.
They were in a grocery store and they crawled out and they crawled into the street.
Really?
Yes, they did. They all mobilized.
Oh, I just love that image of lobsters just running away in the street.
Well, a lot of us are trying to fight speciesism. Speciesism, Nancy's like kind of like homophobia, transphobia, racism.
It's really about supremacy and domination, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I was striking.
And those things...
That's why you need me on the show.
I think we do.
I'm the bird with the word.
Because those things are really unhealthy for the planet, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's been some terrible cases of them I want to talk about.
Okay. What do you got?
Did you hear about the Kentucky Derby?
The horse that died...
8 bells. 8 bells.
Yeah.
She was only 3 years old, and after she ran the race, it came in second. Both her ankles were broken, and they put her down. Now, let me ask you, Nancy.
You mean they killed her?
They killed her.
Because she had broken ankles?
She was a horse that was an athlete.
Oh.
Now, what would you do if you had a human running a race and they came in second and they broke their ankles? Would you just pull out a gun and shoot them?
Well, yeah, of course.
No.
You can't let them get away with that.
No.
No, of course not.
That's an example of speciesism.
Yeah, that's terrible.
What do the horses get out of it? That's what I want to know. But good news, good news.
Yeah.
A crow saved a little starving kitten. I was watching reruns of it on YouTube.
On YouTube?
You could go to The Kitten and the Crow, and you could see a baby kitten that was starving, and the crow fed it grubs, and the crow kept it from crossing the street, and the two of them played together every day.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. The Kitten and the Crow.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Raven, thank you so much. It's so good to have you here on the show with us.
You too, Nancy.
Can I rub your beak a little? Is that what we do?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Gordine
yeah.
talked me into coming back.
All right. It's good to have you back.
She said you loved animals,
Yeah.
and you wanted to hear other voices that have been oppressed.
That's right. Animals, I mean, without animals, life would be really barren. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Raven.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Till next time. All right, that was Raven, and boy, that was fun.
We always learn things about animal rights with
Yeah,
Raven.
I'm looking forward to more of that. So now you were going to tell us about the websites?
Absolutely. You can watch our program in its totality and some extra features as well on GenderVision.org. And if you want to listen to more interviews with our guests, go to gendertalk.com.
Okay, so now let's talk about our guests a little bit, because we're just about ready to go to this interview with Helen and Betty. Now, we're not going to do this here in the studio, right?
No, this is an interview that we did in November of 2007 at the Media Center at Merrimack College, and big thanks to Kevin Salimi for that.
Yep.
And we have in the studio Helen Boyd, and we have Betty Crow, and they're going to talk about being in a relationship and some of the complications and some of their trans advocacy work as well.
As you might imagine, there are definitely some issues that typically come up in relationships when one of the two people in a relationship is a transgender person. For example, there are many cases out there where there are married couples where the husband cross-dresses, and the wife may or may not have learned about this before they married. In fact, there are lots of cases where the wife learns about it after marriage, which makes it more difficult. But so there's lots of people out there who deal with these kinds of issues.
There's a problem with that, and Helen and Betty talk about it and write about it, is that feeling of a sense of betrayal, that something isn't right, and yet oftentimes the trans person is very worried about coming out because they're afraid they're going to lose their relationship, they're going to lose their families, so it's a very complex issue.
Because everything in the culture kind of mitigates against or discourages men from showing any femininity, and cross-dressing certainly has been ridiculed in the media for a long time. So any man who's cross-dressing is generally going to feel shameful about it, or I shouldn't say he's going to, but lots of men out there who are cross-dressing in secret do feel shameful about it, and so they're reluctant to admit it to anyone. And so that makes for challenges within the relationship. But then, when their wife does find out, then there's issues in terms of the rest of the world. How does the rest of whether or not to let the rest of the world know that he's cross-dressing. Cross-dressers often want to go out. Probably you don't want to just stay at home all the time. That's kind of a small world to exist in. And so there are issues around going out in public. And then wives often have fears about what happens if my friends find out, the neighbors find out,
my family,
the PTA, the folks at school. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's a big issue now for Helen and Betty. They knew. Helen knew. Betty said, one time I dressed up like Marie Antoinette. And would you like to dress up like Louis and I can be Marie Antoinette, and came out to Helen very early on in their dating relationship. Just